Hey guys, today we're going to tie up a fly that I like to call the dock is in. As the name suggests, I use it all the time when I'm fishing the dock lights at night down here in Miami. The snook, tarpon, snapper, anything you find on the dock lights, they just can't resist it. As far as the materials, we're going to use these Daichi 2546 saltwater hooks. I'm using it in a size 6. You can tie a little bigger if you want, but a lot of times small does better at night, at least around here. I usually use these bead chain eyes. Every once in a while, I'll tie them up with these living eyes from Fish Skull. I actually like them a little better, but the durability is a little rough. Usually the eyes fall off after 1 or 2 fish. So stick with the bead chain for durability. We're gonna use this Pearl Ice Dub UV for the body. For the wing, we're gonna use Steve Farrar Flash Blend in white. And for the overwing, we're gonna use this Pearl Krystal Flash. I've tied with chartreuse before. I've tied with that rainbow holographic. A lot of times I'll actually even do copper at night. Sometimes I feel like the light that the copper gives is really, really irresistible to fish. So, experiment a little, see what works best for you. So let's get into it. Get the hook in the vise here. Use white thread. We're gonna tie this in right at the eye of the hook. Work it back. The bead chain is gonna get tied in about 1 eye length behind the eye. So that gives enough room to build up a little bit of a head and all that. So I usually go a little overboard on tying in bead chains and dumbbells, particularly for these flies that I'm tying that are going to be used for snook and tarpon. Their mouths obviously are a little bit like sandpaper, so I feel like just having those extra wraps gives it, I don't know, maybe just a little more hope for durability to last more than a few fish. Since we're going to be dubbing the body, we are going to lay down a nice little base of thread. Give it a little bit of wax there. Pearl. Now for the dubbing, you can always add a little more, so don't go too crazy, but you definitely want to make sure you've got enough in there to make a nice body. This isn't sticking that well, so throw a little more wax on there. And I can tell we're going to need at least a tiny bit more of that dubbing right now, so go ahead and get that on while we're working it. All right, let's start wrapping this up. And you can make this as thick or as thin as you want, just depending on how you like to fish it. Okay, that's perfect. We're going to leave a little bit of space there. I always like tying, giving myself a little bit of space tying this this wing here, flash, get that nice and secure. You don't need to worry about being too perfect and cleaning those ends there, because a lot of that is gonna just come right out anyways, or get dubbed over, I mean. So I tied in way too much here. It's a little bit of waste of material, but yeah, it's okay. So pull it all straight, and then I always cut just a little bit behind the eye or the bend of the hook. And there you go. I'll save that. I could probably get another fly out of that there. If you want, you can trim that up to give it a little bit more of a taper. Just a little bit like that, but it's really up to you. It depends on how you like the profile, how you like to fish it. We're gonna take this. We're gonna take like 3 or 4 strands of this Krystal Flash. It's gonna get doubled over, so make sure you do leave yourself enough. And then same thing. We're just gonna get this tied in here. Okay. And then cut it down. You can do like a little bit all different sizes. You don't need to really, make sure it's all even. It's up to you again. It's a nice thing. Got that flexibility here. Make it your own. And then we're almost done here. We're just gonna do another little bit of dubbing. Make sure you give yourself enough to do a little bit of a figure 8 pattern over those eyes. Make sure you're getting everything nice and covered. I'm gonna need a tiny bit more than that. And you're gonna dub to right in front of the those dumbbell or the bead chain eyes as well. So, all right. And you can make this, as this one's gonna be, a super, super bushy fly. If anything, that's gonna make it more appealing. And there you go. Just finish it off. I always just do a half hitch and then a whip finish. If you want, you can use some head cement or some UV, but I usually don't. And there you go. That is, the dock is in.